Good morning, year 12. How are you all? I hope you are enjoying and are having fun. Let's start with today's lesson, but before that, let's do a short recap. What did we learn yesterday? Yesterday, we discussed about weather patterns and a coupon classification of weather system. We discussed that. I hope you have done your readings, class. Thank you. Okay, now let's move on to today's topic. Today we will be moving on to a new topic, that's introduction to tourism in geography. This is not new to you guys. You have learned this in year 11. So I hope this will be this topic will be much easier for you guys to understand. In this session, we are going to discuss mainly on important points, namely the introduction to geography, importance to usefulness of geography, the elements and themes of geography, and world climate. There are many definitions and theories as to understanding the term geography of tourism. The content to tourism geography is complex, uh, making a connection between the two concepts of geography and tourism. Geography is concerned with the combination of factors that makes each individual place on earth unique. Uniqueness results from the combination of natural settings, of climate, landforms, resources, and the cultural phenomena created by the residents of that place, such as buildings, economy, dresses, religion, and other cultural factors. Key factors and theories related to tourism in geography. First, we shall discuss the elements of geography. Okay, class? But before that, let me quote that once Sir Robinson said that attraction of tourism to a large context are geographical in nature. It's a very good line. Attraction of tourism to a large context are geographical in nature. You guys get that? I hope. Here we will see about the physical shape of the place, its location and accessibility, the scenic attraction of a place and its historical, cultural factors, accommodation, ability, safety and security of the place. Under the elements of geography, one can say we also sorry one can say also say that where these a few of these are also a main topic of discussion, like medical facilities, communication and system, electricity, water, etc. All of these are associated with tourism. Now I'm going to briefly discuss the 5 themes of geography that are related to tourism. Firstly, location. What is this, class? Everything on earth has an absolute location or a exact location. Where are we? Location may be absolute or relative. Please write down this definition. Location. Everything on earth has an absolute or exact location. location may be absolute or exact. That's the definition of location. And one of the themes that we will be discussing today. This is a very good essay topics. This can be tested in your exams. So please pay attention. An absolute location is the altitude and longitude or a street address. I hope you guys understand what is the altitude and longitude, but I will further explain this in the notes ahead. What is a relative location? Anyone? A relative location are described by landmarks, time, direction, or distance from one place to another and associates a particular place with another. That's a relative location. Moving on. That was theme 1. Second one is description of a place. Of a place. A place is an area that is defined by everything in it. All places have features that gives them personality and distinguishes them from another place. It explains what an area is like by comparing its natural features, human-made features, as well as images. By this definition, a place is an area that is defined by everything in it. All places have features that gives them personalities. And distinguishes them from other place. Are we clear on this, class? Moving on. Perception of people, or you can say people's perception. People's perception of a place prevails their value, attitude, and perception. What do you think, or rather, what comes to your mind when I tell you to imagine a place? Human characteristics are derived from the idea and action of a place and the result in change to environment such as building, roads, clothing, and food habits. So you guys are Gen Z. When I say when I take the name South Korea, what is the first thing that comes to your mind? Food, entertainment, infrastructure, right? Clothing. It's very different from Fiji. When we compare Fiji's cultural food, dressings, to them, it's very different in contrast, right? So that's what people's perception is. Whenever we say North Korea, it's a very controversial country, right? North Korea. Their attire is based on, sorry, their attire is based on what their leader, what their leader wants them to wear. Even their hairstyle. There are certain hairstyles that they cannot apply on themselves. That's what the perception of North Korea is, according to us, right? The physical characteristics. That's another point. The physical characteristics includes mountains, rivers. When we talking about perception of people, the physical characteristics includes mountain, rivers, soil, beaches, wildlife. When I talk about Tabeni, what's the first thing that comes to your mind? Tangi Modia mountain, right? And the Buma waterfall. Now, when I say South Africa, wildlife comes to our mind, right? The safari wildlife comes to our mind. That's very unique. When we talk about Hawaii, the beautiful beaches comes to our mind. That's the perception that's built in uh, inside of us when we think of a particular place. People's perception. The image people have of a place is based on their experience, both intellectual and emotional. However, your hometown connected to other place. Sorry, how is your hometown connected to other place? What are the human and physical characteristics of these place? These are few of the terms that we think when we imagine about other places, right? Moving on, region. Sorry, I forgot to write the definition of this. On their values, attitude, and attitude. Just a short example. Moving on to region. This is something that is very important for you geographical students to understand. Region. A region is an area that is defined by certain similar characteristics. These undefined or similar characteristics can be physical, natural, human, or cultural. A region displays a coherent unity in terms of the government, language, or possibly the landform. There are three basic types of region, and they are, students, this is what you learned in E11, I believe, and they are, one, formal region. What is a formal region? Are those defined by government or administrative boundaries. Example, United States, Canada, India, etc. These region boundaries are not open to disputes. Therefore, physical region falls under this category. Moving on, the second type of region is the functional region. These are defined by a function. If a function class closes down, the area does not or no longer exists. Lastly, the third one is a vernacular region. These are loosely defined by people's perception, like in the Middle East and South. The fifth and last theme is movement. The movement of people, goods, and ideas around the world. People interact with each other through movement. Humans occupy places unevenly on earth because we are social beings. We interact with each other through travel, trade, information flow, and political events. Not only humans but ideas and fashion trends also moves. Let's take example. A new trend, sorry. A new TikTok trend. Before, when there was no entertainment, how did people knew about these latest trends? It was from the movement, when people moved, or because of a political event, or information flow, or trade. But now it's very common. If a TikTok US TikTok trend has trended, people in Fiji know it because of the information flow, because of new gadgets, new information system, mobile phones. So those are the five themes of the five most important themes of geography. That geography in tourism, that's location, description of a place, perception of people, religion, movement. Moving on, human environment interaction. Look at the relationship between people and their environment. It deals with how people adapt to their environment and how they change it. Now, look at how people adapt to their environment. Let's take ancient Egypt example. Let's take that as an example. When during annual floodings of the Nile River, the rivers pushed good soils that were very good for croppings. That's how people adapted to floodings. Then, how do people adapt to their environment? Due to frequent floodings and stuff like that, uh, natural disasters, people now build their house on planks. That's how you adapt to your new environment. How do people modify their environment? Let's take another ancient Egyptian example. Ancient Egyptians built irrigation ditches to help water the crops. In modern times, people will build dams to control flood water. People here in Fiji build dams, and when the sea level or water level rises and there is a risk of flooding, they will flood their fields instead of flooding or getting the effects of flood coming near them, right? Moving on, the connection between tourism and geography are linked to specific terms such as place, location, space, accessibility, and scale. This science also has an integrative characteristics containing key elements from all fields of geography: physical, human, and economic. Besides this, tourism geography also has many common prints and points with other science, including history, geology, biology, art, economy, and so on. Uh, you may ask, how does it relate to history? Historical monuments are the most famous tourist attraction places, like Pyramid of Giza and Great Wall of China. Those are part of the history as well as tourist attractive places. Arts, monuments that are either man-made or natural. As such, the tourism geography studies things like the tourist resources, the tourism infrastructure, the type and form of tourism, the tourist circulation, the tourist market, as well as other domains. The world's climate. We always wonder why one part of the world is deserted and the other part has all greenlands, while the other has is filled with rainforests. Why are there different forests and deserts? Why are there different types of life in each area? Like in polar regions, polar bears, there are bears. Those polar bears cannot survive here in sorry on aquatic continents because of the temperature difference, right? What are these, and what is the answer for all these questions? The answer here is climate. Climate is a long-term pattern of weather in a particular area. It is measured by assessing the variation in temperature, humidity, atmospheric pressure, wind, precipitation, atmospheric particle count, and other meteorological variables given of a region over a period of time. Like we discussed in our previous activity, the Köppen climate classification system is the most widely used system for classifying the world's climate. There are factors that affect climates, and they are summarized as latitude. Our temperature range increases with distance from the equator. Also, temperature decreases as you move away from the equator. This is because the sun's rays are dispersed over a large area of land as you move away from the equator. This is due to the curved nature of the earth. Our earth is not circle. It's not a complete circle. It is called an oblate, where it is flat on the poles and bulged out on the equators on the sides. It's an oblate form, right? And this form is what affects our climate. In addition, polar regions are cooler, because the sun's rays here are further towards sorry are far away or further compared to the places on equator. The sun's rays are more scattered. The altitude and temperatures decreases with height. The air is less dense and cannot hold heat as easily. Winds, if winds are warm, they are blown from a hot area. If winds have been blown from a cold area, it will lower the temperature. And finally, a aspect. Slope facing the sun are warmer than those that are not. Thus, southern facing slopes in the northern hemisphere are usually warmer. However, slopes facing southern hemisphere are the warmest. These are a few of the factors that affects climate. Let's do a recap. Latitude, altitude, wind, and aspect. These four are very important. I hope you guys have made short notes and have you prepared yourselves for today's class. I hope you guys understand what I just taught you. And thank you for watching this class. My name is Avanshna and this was my micro teaching geography video 2. Thank you.